I'm your host, Dennis Bithoulkas, and this is Project Blue Book, Season 2, Episode 9, Broken Arrow. Welcome, everybody. I'm going to take up here at the very end of the video, of this video, I should say. And what basically YouTube does, it takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching, tries to match it as best as possible to one of the videos in my vast video library and pops it up there just for you. Up here is going to be dispatches from elsewhere, so it's going to go on there. If you want to know when I'm going to be on live again next, you can hit the bell down below there, just so you know it's a 50-50 chance of YouTube actually notifying you. Best thing to do is go to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule up there. I change it out every Monday, and I also put it on my Facebook page. Speaking of Facebook, there's also a Facebook group page, which you guys can post stuff on and chat amongst yourselves. I have a Twitter, I have an Instagram, I have a Patreon page, but no tiers set up as of yet. There we go. Oh, and happy sequestered St. Patrick's Day to everyone as well, since that's what's going on right now. Hopefully everyone's enjoying their sequestered St. Patty's Day and has a drink in hand already, if you haven't already been drunk since 11 o'clock this morning. So, spoiler alert, I am going to spoil the episode. If you haven't seen the episode, go and watch it. Come on back. This will be a video. You can comment down below the comment section. Thank you, Viking Bitch, for the paddle. Oh, and this is for the one person in my last video that didn't see the spoiler alert before and was saying, why did you put spoilers, man? And it's like, well, because I have a big fucking spoiler alert sign that I put at the very beginning of this thing. And also I have a small one right there, right over my shoulder as well. So yes, because I actually do spoilers during the reviews. Go figure. If you're going to talk about something, you actually have to spoil shit. So God, yeah. Anyway, let's get to it, shall we? So essentially what this whole episode revolved around was a Russian bomber that was testing Canadian air defenses, and a UFO smacked into it and took it out. And Hynek and Quinn are no longer, well, they're on hiatus right now from Project Blue Book. And because of Quinn's involvement with Susie, who is now a Russian spy, which they all know, and also Hynek, since he was all involved in that thing as well, he's also been, I guess you could say, on sabbatical from Project Blue Book. But the Canadian government had actually contacted Hynek since they don't have their own Project Blue Book, to take a look into it. And so they meet General Michael Shanks from Stargate SG-1, and they look into it, of course, and they find the plane. They find first they go and take a look at a logging camp because they figured somebody saw the crash, most likely, since it happened right over their heads. And sure enough, it did. And one of the other things too is that the Canadians were saying the weird thing about it was when the two objects on the radar collided, they disappeared. And then an hour later, the plane appeared again at 60,000 feet. For a prop plane, that's just kind of impossible. So yeah, and then they could hear the crew screaming "Mayday, Mayday, Mayday," and had audio of that, the recording of that. So, like I said, Hynek and Quinn find the plane. They find the pilot, the crew as well, and they find out there's a nuke aboard as well. And so they have to disable the nuke, disarm it before it goes off, because they don't know if it's been activated or not. And that falls to Hynek to go in there and crawl inside to dismantle this thing, which turns out to be a fake bomb. Yeah, it turns out to be a fake bomb altogether here. In the meantime, Valentine and Harding are, they're investigating Quinn because, well, Harding pretty much believes that Quinn is guilty, whereas Valentine's like, no, he didn't know shit at this point, because they've been trying to break Susie for the last 3 days, and she's not saying anything. She's actually really, really good at this. We do find out that Hynek has a little bit of a theory about why the UFOs have been, showing up much more lately, and it's because we have nukes now, and that that they're trying to protect us from ourselves from the nukes, because they started showing up during World War II more and more frequently, mostly around military sites and mostly around nuclear military sites. And that's his theory that he was sharing with the Russians as they were looking for that bomb. Yeah, I thought that the aliens might have disarmed it. I thought that they were gonna take it. I don't know exactly, what they were doing with it, and it's kinda weird they didn't take it if they took the whole ship for an hour and then threw it back in there at, 60,000 feet. So maybe that's what they did. They were like, "Eh, this one's fake, we can let them go. It's a catch and release system. Just put a tag up their ass and we'll let them go." Is what happened. So the generals, of course, commend both Hynek and Quinn and say, Project Blue Book's back on. You guys need to get out there. That's why we need you, because you guys are the ones that are protecting the country and all this stuff. And so they get back into the office, and who do they get a visit from but John Kennedy? And he says, "You know what? Whatever you're working on, you need to drop it right now. I need you to go up to the North Atlantic to take a look at a UFO that's been following the fleet." And they're like, "Okay, where'd it come from?" He goes, "Well, it didn't come from the skies. It came up out of the water." And yeah, that's the catch now, is that this UFO actually came up out of the water, a triangular craft, excuse me, and is following the fleet. And so they've been tasked by Senator Kennedy to go to the North Atlantic and find this triangular craft. So this is our penultimate episode that we've got. Next week is, of course, the season finale, and yeah, I'm hoping we get to see more of this. The guy who's playing Kennedy is actually doing a really damn good job, I have to admit. He does a so good episode. We had a lot of tension to it, and I love how they're you know basically they thought they were winding down, that they were going to be done with Project Blue Book, and Hynek was going to go off and just basically try and build ufology, since it's in its infancy. Quinn was like, "Well, maybe I'll just go back to being a pilot again," kind of thing. And yeah, it's just really, really, they were just kind of, saying how much they liked each other, kind of thing, and admired one another. And then, of course, when they were going to disarm the bomb, it's like, well, we did want to say we wanted to go out, blaze of glory, kind of thing, or out into the sunset. And, well, we might get our chance here if we don't do this right. So yeah, good stuff. I enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to next week as well. Um, so yeah, it's a little bit shorter this time around. This review. I realized I started doing recaps again for the most part. I was doing kind of recaps and reviews, and not really calling it as such. So I figured I'd just switch back over to reviews and shorten things up a little bit, since everyone's sequestered now, and are supposed to be anyway. And by the way, I just want to say, being inside does not mean you go on play dates with your kids go on play dates with all the other kids. It means you keep away from each other. That means if you live with the person, yes, you can be with them unless they are exhibiting symptoms, and you just wall them up into a wall someplace and let them go. But for your neighbors and such like that, you not want to hang out with them. Yes, social distancing, 6 feet. That's right. I still have to go into work because I am essential personnel at work, and I have to go in. Um, and we're practicing social distancing as well. As a matter of fact, our meeting today that we had consisted of four of us standing, 6 feet apart. And then we had four cell phones with other people on those cell phones, jacked up as much as possible on the volume. And that was our meeting this morning. Exactly, Apple Crow. Flatten that curve. Flatten that curve. So, yes, play dates. That I was just watching the ghetto ass kids behind me here, uh, acting like it was a goddamn park in the back there, and I'm like, You guys realize that you are the petri dishes that are going to pretty much doom all of mankind now at this point." So thanks. Well, we do social Saturday morning social distancing. We already are, Apple Crow. Unless you guys are reaching through the computer screen and grabbing me, which, I'm not feeling anything, obviously. So now it's gonna be Saturday morning blast off is what it's gonna be as usual. I'm not gonna call it Saturday morning social distancing because it's just too much of a mouthful. It really is. Ah, so what else do I have going on this week? I'm off Wednesday and Thursday. I know, but I actually need to work and make money and pay bills unless they're suspended. Hopefully the bills get suspended. I don't know what's going to happen. Friday, of course, is going to be Star Wars, The Clone Wars, which I guess we're getting an Ahsoka Tano arc, which I'm fucking jazzed about because I love her. Um, Saturday is going to be Saturday Morning Blast Off, where I talk about the genre news of the week and any of the genre stuff that's going on. And most likely, we're going to be talking about COVID-19 and social distancing and staying inside and playing video games, watching movies, TV shows, all that kind of good stuff. Sunday is going to be Westworld, season 3 of Westworld. Excuse me. I need a little bit of water on that one. Monday, what is it, a pandemic in order to get you in there. You're caught up on Clone Wars too, and you unfortunately saw Rise of Skywalker. I'm sorry. It is on Disney Plus now, if I'm not mistaken, right? Rise of Skywalker. I think it is. I think they threatened us with that and they put it out there. Ugh, yeah. What did I think of Rise of Skywalker? It was crap. As far as I'm concerned, the 7, 8, and 9 happened in the Kelvin verse, in J.J. Abrams' Kelvin verse, and doesn't exist. It's not canon to me as far as I'm concerned. Yeah. So, will you be able to work from home eventually? Possibly. Most likely not, because I deal with laboratories, and there's a lot of laboratories that still come in and have to do work because they have critters and such, like microscopic animals that need to be fed and whatnot. So there always is going to be people that are there on campus in the labs. And so that means I need to be there to make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing in the labs and not doing anything else. So, yeah, that's exactly it. Apple Crow, he's the dark side Spock. Exactly. So, with that said, I'm gonna let you guys go for the night. So you guys can, I'll stay up late and play video games and watch other kinds of shit while I have to go get to bed so that I can actually get up in the morning early. Well, I don't have to get up that early anymore. Traffic is really nice now. That's one thing I have to admit about the pandemic is that it takes a lot of toll off the traffic there. So I don't have to, traffic's been really nice lately. So, stay safe out there. Social distancing, cover your nose and mouth when you cough. That's even if you have a little one, just, cover it up. I've been doing that when I cough. Unless I have my hoodie on, then I cover up with that. And you know, try and try and do things with your mind, if you will, educate your mind or entertain your mind, that kind of stuff. And yeah, the grocery stores here, Joe Greer, unfortunately, have not. They don't open before 8 anymore, and sometimes 9. And yes, I know I just touched my face, even though you're not supposed to do all that. But I'm at home by myself right now, so I can do whatever the hell I want. And I wash my hands like about 50,000 times a day. And yes, for 20 seconds at a time. Unlike some people that I've seen in my office, not in my general vicinity, but in my building that are not doing what they're supposed to be doing. So, not calling out names or anything like that. Yes, the memes are glorious. They really are. And by the way, Demolition Man, I think, is going to be our new high five where you just kind of go up and then you don't actually make any contact, any physical contact, I should say. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I know, Joker. I heard about that too. Also, Jared Leto supposedly was out in the desert for 12 days with no any kind of communication or anything like that, and he came out of some meditation thing. He's like, "What the fuck?" And I thought that was pretty funny too. Anyway, I will let you guys go. I will see you on Friday, actually, for Saturday or for Star Wars, the Clone Wars. There we go. And until then, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, you may have a UFO that just won't let you swerve out of the way and makes you disappear, then makes you reappear at 60,000 feet. Nobody wants that. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night, and I will see you on Friday. Stay safe.